Qira Hive, Qira Hive, Qira Hive, the other place that will crush your hopes and dreams similar to the legendary island already does. And today I'm here with my level 103 who has literally not done a single quest and has just now started the Qira Hive. So let's just jump headfirst into it and look, wow, at my amazing set. Oh my god, it's almost like it's full morph except with third eye. Anyway, the hive is owned by, of course, Mistress Kiera, a magical being who apparently can, do things, and that's all you really want to know about her. But the first division is, of course, the Thunder Division. Most of the things in the Thunder Division itself are weak to Earth, so you might as well bring something that can at least do Earth damage, or otherwise you might have a somewhat difficult time. Of course, I'm a level 100, so this looks ridiculously easy, of course, but the thing is, this is actually meant to be done at like levels 80 to like maybe 84, maybe 83, who really knows. As you can see, I'm just casually breezing through this because we need to get to the boss as quick as humanly possible, and in order to do that, I must achieve epic gamer status by using my Return to Ether here. I don't know why I'm using Return to Ether and not a different bow, but that's okay. Also, since this is definitely not a ripoff of Tower Ascension, there is of course 10 floors, or levels, or whatever those things are called, on the division. Yes. The Thunder Division isn't actually that bad, of course, because literally it's the, first division. You shouldn't expect it to be that hard, but then we're about to come to the boss, and oh god, the boss. And now we're at the boss of the Thunder Division. Allow me to introduce you to the Psychomancer. The thing about the Psychomancer is he has burst fire as well as being able to teleport pretty much non-stop. And now you may be asking yourself, gee Shots, what's so annoying about the Psychomancer? And I literally just told you, it's a burst fire mob with teleport. Lord help me when I try to fight this boss at the level you're actually supposed to fight this boss. I just made it look ridiculously easy, of course, because I'm a level 100, and that boss is meant to be beaten at, like, level 85. The Psychomancer is honestly one of the funniest bosses in the entire game, because he's like Bill, except he's not Bill, so he's not as epic. Next up, we have the Air Division. Most of the mobs in the Air Division are weak to fire and are super speedy boys, of course, because they are, of course, the air element. Allow me to quote what I literally just said for a second here. Most of the mobs in the Air Division are weak to fire, he says, as the first room literally has mobs that have defense to fire. Now, I'd also like to point out that the respawn rates can be utter trash at some points, like this right now, where I'm literally sitting here and probably have been for the past 1 minute and nothing is spawning. Hey, I see YY's logging in right now. Could anybody please go tell YY that he needs to do spider build? I forgot to today. And I really do apologize that I seem to be pretty forgetful of reminding him. But I have a theory that the more we remind him, the more and more the meme dies. And the more the meme dies, the more chance we actually have for him to do it. This is a little bit off topic here, but some of you may be asking yourself, why haven't you powdered your Hellstrand? And let me tell you about a story. See, me and this Hellstrand, we go way back together. The first time I ever soloed Kiera, I actually did use this same Hellstrand. It wasn't powdered, it was just me and this Hellstrand. I also used this Hellstrand to solo Cybele with a full inventory filled of, drunkenness pots outside of my weapon Hellstrand. But I neglect to tell people, because they seem to be impressed by that I was also doing that when Bomb Arrow still calculated Lifesteal and Mana Steal. I deeply apologize for me complaining about respawn rates, but you don't want to know what the blue token room did to me in Undergrowth Ruins. Lord help me. And now we're at the air boss, aka the Spirit of Gale. Now, I don't know why, but people seem to have trouble with this boss a lot. Maybe it's because they don't understand that this thing has bajillions of anti-KB. Like, hang on, let me just arrow storm this thing for you real quick. Goodbye. It actually hit my arrow shield too, but we don't talk about that part. To be fair though, I usually do use Archer, although I have used every class at least once, of course. So it does kind of make sense why more classes would struggle compared to, you know, Archer, which literally has the exact same range, if not longer, than this thing. And I forgot to also say, now we're on the Earth Division, being the third thingy-majigger you have to do. And the Earth Division primarily consists of slow mobs that hit extremely hard. I believe I can fly. I believe I can oh, there we go. I don't know why, but I always find this room really annoying for the most part. Then again, I'm usually doing the Hive at like level 93 to 95. So that's probably why. Can I literally not hurt this thing? What is going on? Are you just going to exist now? Alright, cool. That thing's just gonna exist now. And now we move on to the boss, the Genesis Reverse. Here's the thing about Genesis Reverse. He's one of the most boring boss designs in existence. Oh, look! It's generic, slow, heavy-hitting mob number 5 million. Literally all this boss does is either use heavy charge to get near you, pool to make you get closer to him, and then occasionally chuck a meteor out to, you know, try and one-hit KO you. The thing is, he's super slow. The only real shining point about him is that he has pretty decently high anti-KB. Not as much as, of course, our friend Gale, but enough to be recognizable. In other words, this guy's literally if you took the Ice Barrow's Key Guardian, made it a boss, and buffed it somewhat. Next up we have the Water Division, and honestly I forget 90% of the time what's in the Water Division because I'm too concerned about the Fire Division. Fun fact, by the way, they did add more dialogue to the Hive, and it's actually quite amusing. I haven't been showing you it, of course, because frankly, I think all you're concerned about is the fact that, hey, when are you actually going to die? And the answer is never, because I am 300 IQ. And when I say when are you going to die, I mean in-game, calm down, okay? I didn't mean that other thing. Honestly, I don't know why I actually brought so many heal pots. I forgot the fact that I'm literally an archer, and that's literally been the first heal pot I'm pretty sure I've used this entire time. Well, not the first use of the heal pot, just the first full heal pot I've used. And when I say I forgot I'm an archer, my bad. I forgot to say I forgot I'm an archer with literally a 70% dodge chance. Anyway, now we move on to, of course, the boss of the Water Division, aka the Oceanic Judge. Is that what your name is? Yeah, the Oceanic Judge, which is basically, you know, your usual ranged mob. It just kind of sits there and shoots diamonds at you. See, I would start playing the Mine Diamond song right now, but that legally is only allowed to be in the mining review, so yeah. The Oceanic Judge actually does hit quite hard and can be really annoying because it has teleport and I believe it actually does have heal as well. Also, I'm reading back what this guy said. What does he mean by this? I mean, as far as I'm aware, I have 44 strength. I'm a pretty strong boy. Anyways, now we move on to the Fire Division, which is by far the hardest division, which makes sense. It is the last one, after all. And the thing about the Fire Division is most of the things are, of course, weak to water, but they're also, like, good all around. Like, you'll notice that most of the mobs in, like, the Earth Division, they're slow, Air Division, they're fast, etc., etc. But the Fire Division is just kind of all over the place. They also redid the designs for some of the mobs, and most of them look pretty cool, but I'm never going to get over my PTSD I got from this room when there was about the 3 blazes running at me as soon as I entered, and then I was scarred for life anytime I see a blaze from now on. I forget which room it is because I'm basically breezing through these at the moment, but there's one room where, oh wait, I think it's actually this one here. But basically, the first time I ever did the Hive, I was literally only using Hellstrand. So I was in here for a good, like, 10 minutes trying to get through the fire defense of these things, and They also have heal spells, so you can imagine how long that was actually taking. Anyway, now we have, of course, the Solar Vanguard. And the Solar Vanguard is just like, hey, did you know I'm a fire mob? Guess what spell I have? Flamethrower! For real, this boss is not hard. It's just the fact that he can sometimes pull you in and just say, hey, look, I have Flamethrower, isn't that nifty? He can also sometimes use Pool and then proceed to use Meteor at the same time, but outside of that, he should not be an issue. Okay, stand corrected, I forgot his second form existed. His second form may be an issue just because it's faster, but outside of that, he's dead, so that doesn't matter. Yeah, I wouldn't call that fight fair, dude. I'm literally... Actually, no, wait, you're a magical being, and I just have arrows, so yeah, you should have totally won that, never mind. And now we must go into the final room with the mistress herself, Qira.
Prepare for Rainbow Overload!
We are only going to use Hellstrand in this fight, me against you, Qira. One-on-one, one more time. Let's go all the way back to your first defeat where you fought so poorly. Couldn't defeat my arrow spam, and oh god, Flamethrower hit me. Anyway, though, the first form of Qira has a Healbot AI, meaning she'll just run away and follow her minions and stuff like that. She also has probably one of the deadliest spell combos in the entire game, as I have said previously in some other videos, being Web and Flamethrower. She also has Heal, which automatically makes her one of the most annoying mobs in the entire game. Anyway, Qira herself has 3 phases. We're now currently on her second phase, and her second phase is by far the easiest phase. Really all it is your usual melee mob. The only time you might want to panic is when she goes and vanish, because then she can, sneak up behind you because, it's vanish and all. And now finally her last phase, which is very similar to her original boss fight, where she was literally just a wall of HP and, attacked you. And it was really drawn out. Yeah, this is basically the same exact thing as that. Only real problem you may have is when she gets you stuck in a web, just because web is somewhat difficult to dodge, if I'm being perfectly honest. Web is dodgeable if you're constantly moving, and, well, sometimes it'll catch you even if you are constantly moving, but, like, you can time it to where the web will spawn right behind you, and you can run out of it right before, the thing happens. Also, I realized I haven't talked about her minions at all, and frankly, that's because usually they aren't much of an issue. They do sometimes prove to be somewhat annoying, but outside of that, they kind of just exist. That's probably because I am, of course, using an archer for this, and Archer's bomb arrow has a massive AoE, so okay. And now I'm going full Aerostorm mode on her for some unknown reason, where she very much so could kill me right now, but unfortunately for her, I've already slaughtered her. And now she mentions the fact that we could be allies, but suggesting the fact that you were about to just kill me, I'm gonna have to say a fat no. Now I'd like to just point something out here. Qira is a super powerful magical being of magicalness, right? Okay, so she lost to a guy who's using a Morph Third Eye, a fire neutral bow, and literally just arrows. Okay, right, now let's talk about, the rewards you can actually get. Each time you complete a division, you get a voucher, which you can use to buy a reward at the merchant. There are also the transmutation merchants, which is where you can trade in an item you bought along with catalysts from previous bosses to get a new voucher, So, you know, if you pick the wrong one, or you just pick one and then you decide to switch later on, you can do so. Okay, let me just say it right now. Most of the things in the hive are pretty good. There's nothing I'd really call useless in the hive. Pretty much anything can work. One quick thing I forgot to mention while I'm just kind of leap spamming over to Thanos real quick is that you should probably complete the hive around 95 or higher, because XP scaling exists with Tower of Ascension and Qira Hive, meaning if you're closer to a certain level, you'll get more XP upon completion. For Tower of Ascension, that's 75 or higher, and for Qira Hive, that's 95-ish or higher. Now, if you excuse me, I have to go make, like, an actual build instead of literally 7 more Third Eye. Goodbye.